Hello everyone, this is Christian from Global Reach, and today we're talking about how to make custom audiences or define audiences in Google Analytics 4. So a very important thing with defining audiences or creating an audience is to know exactly what kind of users you want to keep tabs on. So if you want to keep tabs on audiences from a specific part of the world or from a specific device or who triggers a specific event, make sure that you have that in mind before you create your audience and kind of understand why that audience is important to you. It could be that that audience has a significantly lower chance of converting or a higher chance of converting. Whatever it is, just make sure that you understand what is significant about your audience. So once you have your audience in mind or the vision of your audience in mind, what you want to do is you want to jump over to Google Analytics and start defining your audience. Okay, so welcome to our Google Analytics 4 platform. And like many of the cool features here on the platform, it's going to be underneath the admin section. So you want to go down to the bottom left and click on admin. And then under the data display section, you want to click on the third option that says audiences on it. And there's a good chance that Google has already created a bunch of pre-built audiences for you here. And how useful those audiences are is up for debate, but generally speaking, if you have a specific goal in mind, I always just recommend creating a new audience. So to create a new audience, you want to go up to the new audience section, and then you can also use a reference. So if you don't really know what you want to do with your audience just yet, you can go up to your references section and find a couple of different pre-built audiences. But if you have a solid objective and a clear goal in mind, I recommend just going straight to the create custom audience section. So that's what I'm going to do here. Let's say I want to look at users who only came to our website on a mobile device. So I'm going to call this mobile device users. And then what you can do is you can add a short description if you want to. I think my title is pretty self-explanatory. And then here is when you define the conditions that define your audience. So for this, I'm going to include users when device category, I'm going to add a filter here, device category exactly matches, and I'm going to say mobile. And I recommend clicking on the search box here and just clicking on the pre-built options here, just so you make sure that you're following the format that Google has, because you just don't want to make sure that you just don't want to have a situation where you're setting up a audience and using the wrong capitalized letter or something like that. So I highly recommend just clicking on the box and selecting the option. So now I'm going to click apply. And what you can see here is on the right hand side it says summary, and it tells me how many people are in my audience. So you can add as many conditions as you want, but make sure that you actually have people in your audience, because the more specific you go, the less people you'll have in your audience. So you could get to a point where you're so specific that you have no people in your audience. So you want to make sure that you are looking at conditions that put you right in the middle of not having too many people, but also having enough people to do analysis on. So as you can see here, I have 1.8 thousand people. That sounds like a good number. That's a perfectly reasonable number to do analysis with. And up here under the additional audience settings for membership duration, you can keep it at whatever you want. Every industry company will have different goals and different needs, but I'm going to change this from 30 to 90. And then now I have my my conditions, I have my audience settings, and I have my summary. And all this looks good to me. So I'm going to go ahead and click save. Now that I've clicked save, it adds a new audience to my audience section here. And what you can do is you can keep coming back to the audience section and watch it grow over time. So right now I just created the mobile users section, so there won't be any changes or any traction here. But as you come back week on week, month on month, day on day even, and you click on your audience, what you'll see data start to come through here. So this is where you'll find all of the information that could be important for you. But one thing to look at here is this change percentage here. So over time, what you'll see is your audience grow or fall depending on your patterns of your website. So it's always a good place to look at the percentage changes. And you can also toggle the date range up here to get more specific information on how your audience is growing or shrinking over time. But generally speaking, that is how you create and define your own custom audience in Google Analytics 4. I hope this tutorial was helpful for you. I hope you got what you needed. Thanks a ton for watching, and feel free to watch the other tutorials on our page.